Since pointing lasers at the sky, aimed at plane is illegal, how are they gonna find the culprit? Often they don't. There isn't any magic to it. Most things that are illegal don't imply any special way to catch people who do it. Most crimes go unpunished. But the threat of being caught, for instance, because someone sees you do it from the ground and reports you, still exists. What you're trained to do as a pilot if you're being lasered at is to turn off your position and strobe lights and report it to ATC, as well as your approximate position. Usually if it's a one-off they can't report it to police and get an arrest, but if multiple planes get hit quickly it can be easy to figure out where the douchebag is. Source: I'm a PPL with an instrument rating. Don't fuck with this. My co-worker's brother is serving 10 years for doing this to a police helicopter. One of two ways. The easy way: they have equipment. Usually powerful cameras. The hard way: they use math. They don't always catch them. But if they do, that person is royally fucked for the rest of their life. A lot of people just do it from their house. And that'll be picked up with cameras. The reality is that the federal gov can find you. They're very good at it. Fucking with airplanes is a really good way to get a knock on the door by the FBI. Most people do it by their house or a place they frequent. If you do it once they'll probably never catch you except if they're really good with timing and resources. I.e., you point it at an aircraft with cameras that can track you like a police helicopter. If you constantly do it from the same location they'll get multiple complaints from pilots who tell them what area it came from, and they'll be observing that area now and you'll get caught real fast. The way they prevent people from doing it is that they put steep punishments for doing it for the rare times you are caught. They're gonna fly right into you. Pilots are like cats. They point both ways. The helicopters the police use can see all house addresses in a sort of augmented reality screen as they are panning around. If they are out and about they are easily able to find the address of the laser pointer user and dispatch police. A portable 0.5 watt laser costs about $200. Looks like a flashlight and can cause permanent eye damage in 0.25 seconds. And because it's a laser, clear day range isn't an issue. A laser, much like tracer rounds, works in both directions. Pilots can mark your grid location. Grid location can be given to nearby police. Never even think about doing this. Lasers can blind permanently, to say nothing about fucking with a pilot in active flight. Mathematically, 10 minutes ago I just watched a video of a police helicopter tracking and arresting someone for doing this. We just gotta get the laser detection system from Russian tanks and tie it to a camera. Save pictures. Cross-reference with GPS. Send Popo to follow up if there is a repeat offender. Triangulation. The plane triangulates the trajectory of the laser with the ground and then fires a Hellfire missile from the hidden compartment just behind the landing gear doors. The missile follows the laser and decimates its target with precision. Don't do it unless you have $10,000 and willing to spend 60 months in a federal prison. The laser works both ways. It points directly at the pointer. Unless you're a robot that can directly hit the camera pilot without missing, then they aren't fully blinded and can see where it's coming from. Infrared cameras. Not every aerial vehicle has infrared cameras, yes, but is one way of doing it. People stupid enough to do that are often stupid enough to post it on social media. Jails generally aren't full of smart criminals. This might be a dumb question, but why would people be stupid enough to do it? What's the motive considering the punishment is so brutal? Try it out and tell us when you find out. Some planes can get pretty accurate on the coordinates where they are coming from. Police close in and locate. Meanwhile, it's perfectly legal if you do it on the street and aim 2 lasers directly at cars, where it is actually physically possible to hit drivers' eyes and cause multiple accidents every night. Fuck your headlights. Since murder is illegal, how are they gonna find the culprit? Applies to literally any crime. Many criminals go unfound and unprosecuted. Just because something is illegal doesn't mean it has a high probability of finding the perpetrator. I assume that if one is in the middle of flyover country and aims a laser at an airplane in the sky, then it will probably miss the plane entirely. If it is aimed right, the signal will be too weak to be noticed. If it does blind the pilot, then the airline has several hours to make a landing plan and there will not be federal agents hunting down the culprit. In contrast, if one is near an airport and aims a laser at the pilot of an airplane that is about to land, then one has a decent shot at hitting the pilot's eyes and the plane is about to control crash into the runway and there are a team of federal agents nearby. Usually by following the laser pointer shining up into the sky, as it's basically a beacon. United States versus Bocharvikov. They mostly won't. It's a pretty easy crime to get away with. They don't. At least by stating illegal, at least PPL with brain, avoid doing it. Else nothing can be done unless they have a satellite image which can zoom on the location and find the culprit. Highly unlikely. I'm sure it's difficult to catch the person and they probably often get away with it. But I've seen videos where like a sheriff's helicopter with infrared cameras is able to hunt the person down. Since the chances of getting caught is extremely small, the rules of economics says the punishment needs to be very severe. So make the punishment life in prison without parole. And give a huge reward to anyone who turns in the culprit. Well, I don't know. But I also don't want to find out the hard way that it's way easier than we're assuming. One laser pointer will do nothing to a plane helicopter by itself. Get 1,000 of them and point them at a helicopter plane and it might. A radar. They'd check who was buying high-powered enough lasers to reach an airplane 2 miles up. Wouldn't surprise me if they start using satellites to catch people doing that. You are locked on. We had an incident in my area. What really happened was a woman's Christmas decoration laser reflected off her house. Lol. They caught a guy in 5 minutes. They coordinate with local police. The pilot or occupant will identify the location and send police to it. Lasers work both ways and commercial police aircraft have cameras. Funny thing about lasers, they point straight back to the source. You haven't seen videos on how they find them. Rainbolt. FLIR in the air, squad on the ground caught bad guy. Seen it happen. Once on a flight, going to land. The entire plan lit up. I was on the side of the plan of someone shining a laser. Let me tell you, you could see exactly where it was coming from. And you could see the person well enough to give a description. If you kept doing it long enough, they could dispatch a helicopter with cameras that can fully see the laser and track it to the source. Quick question for anybody who knows: can a standard low-power laser pointer actually do anything at the altitudes where planes fly? Some, if not most aircraft will have varying forms of cameras on board that can be used to pinpoint the location. Plus, the pilot would be reporting it to air traffic control and giving a location as well. Why would you want to?